focuses right on the season all the way.
And look at this. I mean, that for the 9 laps to go, look how close these guys are.
As you look there with 8 to go, the 8th position, the 9 car, that's Jan Magnussen, Emerson Fittipaldi's ride until the crash at the start of the Michigan 500. And not a solid indication there yet as what is going to happen with both Emerson and with that team for next year.
No, I don't. When I talked to those guys over the weekend, nobody knew for sure. I think a lot of that comes down to what Roger wants to do and Carl Hogan. Look at this, though. Now, these guys have a lot at stake. Right out there is Brian Herta, his first win, not very far away. But Alex Zanardi has a lot at stake, so does Chip Ganassi. If he wins that thing, he'd move into second in the championship, like you said. There's a lot of money difference there, but also a first and second in the championship for Chip Ganassi Racing if he were to get by.
Brian Herta slams down the gears, heads into the hairpin, Jan Bigas.
Yes, and of course the radio communications when you get to the final stages, they're always great down here on pit road. They're calling Brian Herta, and they keep saying over and over, Brian, you're the man. Brian, you're the man. You can do it. They're trying to give him all the encouragement they can down here from Team Ray Hall.
Yeah, but I tell you what, he's got the flying Italian right behind him. Zanardi, there's the radio communication going out. The man on the wall, Chip Ganassi, keeping track of both Jimmy Vasser and Brian Herta from his scoring stand. So Brian Herta leads it. Alex Zanardi's working on him. Jimmy Vasser is in 3rd place. He can get the championship there. When we come back, we'll see how all of this resolves.
So just 7 laps to go, and this is the real interest now. Brian Herta in front, Alex Zanardi in 2nd place. As the commentators just said, so much at stake. And I tell you, if I was Brian Herta, the last thing I would want would be people saying, you're the man in my ears, when I was trying to concentrate on keeping Alex Zanardi behind me. That's the newly formed, reformed, reprofiled final corner. There's Chip Ganassi keeping an eye. Just 6 laps to go now. And Brian Herta, well, is he on the verge of his first IndyCar victory? What a great moment that would be. But Alex Zanardi is intent on denying him. Meanwhile, Jimmy Vasser sits in 3rd place. We heard just before that he started his career in midget racing and Formula Fords, Formula Atlantics. He won the Formula Atlantic Championship in '91. That's Andre Ribeiro hopping out of his Tasman Motorsport Lola. Just chucking some water on the bodywork there so it doesn't get too hot. You see, I mentioned last week that the bodywork catches fire quite often on these Indy cars when the internals get very hot and the bodywork's so tight over the top of it. Something you don't see, doesn't seem to be a problem in Formula 1, but it is a big problem with the turbo wastegate, of course, which gets incredibly hot in the Indy cars. Here's Michael Andretti still fighting this terribly ungainly Lola. The bent track rod, still going for it, but of course it's a forlorn hope.
Also fight for the Nations Cup. That's a scoring system that determines, will it be an American, maybe a Brazilian like De Ferran, a Swede like Johansson, well, it's the United States that ends up taking home the Nations Cup for the 2nd year in IndyCar competition over Brazil, Canada, Italy, Mexico, and Sweden. Now in the final laps, that's Andre Ribeiro over against the pit wall. Didn't contact, but apparently something happened, a small fire in the back of the car. They doused that all out with water. All the crew members for the different teams will keep plenty of water there, and also the IndyCar safety people were right there. They're going to leave the car right there. Alex Zanardi, they just reported off and on the circuit. The course marshals here, you couldn't run this race without them. Let's take a look at this. Zanardi coming down under the bridge. Oh, that's a big mistake.
He is lucky that he didn't lose that completely there and hook it and spin it and move Jimmy Vasser up into 2nd, but he recovered nicely, and look how far he is behind. Not very far at all.
You know what? That's more than a little unbelievable. Gary Gerald.
Chip Ganassi just a moment ago had a look at the monitor and saw that replay. What happened when you saw that replay?
I'll tell you, my heart skipped a beat. You can say that, Gary. My heart skipped a beat.
The emotion of this moment is you're getting so close now to wrapping up a championship for your other driver, Jimmy Vasser.
We saw at Elkhart Lake anything can happen, and it's far from over yet.
You're doing it without the good luck charm of Joe Montana today. It's got to be tough not having him here, particularly for him.
He was here all weekend, Gary, and he had to leave today for Italy on a business trip, and they couldn't get out of it. But I know his wishes are here, and he gave us all good wishes last night, and he stayed here in Monterey until the last possible moment and took off for the airport.
Thanks, Chip. Good luck.
Thank you.
Zanardi still working on the leader, Brian Herta. 79 laps are complete. The sweep down the hill. The left-hander onto the pit straight. Climb up over the brow of the hill here, head for turn 1. Flashing across the start-finish line. 80 laps now into the record book. 3 to go. Capable of?
Well, he's got to try as hard as he can, but let me tell you, that little off that he almost had there before when he got in the dirt, that's a big wake-up call to him because he knows that he can push it, but not too far. He slid off. See, somebody else is just going off.
Michael, off and on.
Michael's, boy, he's still trying, even with that broken. Look how hard he's driving that thing.
You can't ask for any more out of somebody like Michael. He's staying in there, keeping the car alive. Tracking the points. Vassar with the championship, but Michael, by keeping it out there, look at that, that's worth a lot of money. No wonder he's staying out there.
Oh yeah, he didn't want to give that up.
Up at the front, it's still Brian Herta, Alex Zanardi, Jimmy Vassar is third, Scott Pruitt up the fourth, Mauricio Guzman is fifth. Brian Herta, Mercedes Power, may be driving Mercedes to its first victory of the year. And in counterpoint, they'll be changing over to Ford Cosworth for next year at that team. Roberto Moreno could jeopardize Michael in terms of points. Michael is in 12th place. He needs that 12. If Roberto Moreno can take it away, he's lost points now. Now back to the front of the field. Whoa! Richie Hearn. Zanardi now right on the back of Brian Herta. Watching Zanardi. Key is on him.
I think that might have been a little bit to do with the traffic there with Richie Hearn. They had to get through there. But look how close this is. Boy, I'll tell you, Brian Herta's heart is pumping right now like you wouldn't believe.
Well, the pressure is on. Coming to the conclusion of the 82nd lap. They climb the hill. The white flag flies. There is one more lap to go in the IndyCar season. Can Brian Herta hang on for that lap?
Well, remember one thing, too. Zanardi's got to get right behind him, and then he's got to find a way past him. He's got to be able to pass him. Brian can't afford to make any mistakes here.
Zanardi is there. He can strike. Jimmy Vassar is in a position that is almost unassailable in the championship right now. He will come home with first championship for Jimmy Vassar. Brian Herta, United States. Jimmy Vassar, United States. Two new names, both from the U.S. in this series that has become so international. So the battle for the PPG Cup. Look, here he comes, here he comes, here he comes, and he gets him! Can he get him back? Can he hang on?
Oh, look at this!
Down through the boards on the final lap. Alex Zanardi, remember twice we've had the change on the final lap of the race this year. Alex Zanardi at the top of the hill, an area you would not normally try and pass. Ducks the inside of Brian Herta, goes all the way off the course on the right-hand side, and Alex Zanardi, with a brilliant move, takes the checkered flag from the pole and the win here at Laguna Seca. Unbelievable. And the championship will go to Jimmy Vassar. Brian Herta finishes in second place. Jimmy Vassar from San Francisco. And at that moment, Jimmy Vassar is the IndyCar champion, the winner of the PPG Cup. And when we come back, we'll be talking with Jimmy Vassar as our new champion. And we'll take another look at that final lap. Unbelievable.
Well, I've seen some moves in my time, but that really takes the biscuit. What a fantastic dive down the inside. I hope no one tries to take him to the stewards and tell him it was dangerous and fine him $20,000. It was a wild move, it was a lunge, but he didn't put Herta in any danger. I think Herta very wisely tried to stay with him, but couldn't. He took to the dirt on the inside of the corkscrew. There's not many people have managed to pass it in the corkscrew, but Alex Zanardi, with probably the move of the season, takes the victory here, his third victory of the 1996 IndyCar Championship, and with it he moves into second place behind Jimmy Vasser and Alex Zanardi. Look at that, the victory salute. He's very pleased with himself, and you have to say he's deserved it. There have been a number of times this year when he should have won and his engine's blown up, or he's had some mechanical failure, not his fault at all. It happened time and time again in the first half of the season. Otherwise he perhaps might have been the champion. And certainly a number of people out in America feel that he will be very difficult to beat next year with the Honda engine, the Firestone tyres. If they, well, certainly the Honda engine isn't going to become uncompetitive over the winter in relation to the others. So Zanardi going to be very tough to beat in 97. He's learnt all the tracks now, and well, a great win today. But also spare a moment, think about Michael Andretti and Al Unser Jr. They came here with such high hopes. Michael made a mistake, he admitted it himself, trying to pass Bobby Rahal into the final corner, around about the half distance, bent his track rod, and really it was all over for Michael for there. Managed to squeeze himself back into the points, of course, racing for quite a lot of money. Hundreds of thousands of dollars delineate the difference between second, third and fourth in the championship. Al Unser Jr., it wasn't his day-to-day either. There's your champion, Jimmy Vasser. Great day for him, a great day for California. Let's get back to our American commentators.
Well, we had to wait until the final lap of the final race to see what may be the most spectacular pass of the year as Alex Zanardi moves around Brian Herta and picks up the lead. Here are the unofficial results of the run here at Laguna Seca in a day that paid off its promise all the way before a gigantic crowd here. And as Brian Herta has the race stolen from him at the last minute, Jimmy Vasser is passed by Scott Pruitt. It does not matter to the championship, though. It gives Pruitt a podium position, third place, but Jimmy Vasser is the champion, and he will receive the Indy Cup, the PPG Cup, the symbol of the IndyCar Championship here. Unofficial results as we run through the entire field, and we wait for the opportunity to talk with Jimmy Vasser. Now, let's take a look, before we do that, though, at the replays of those final moments.
Unbelievable. Comes up the hill. I don't know why Brian didn't block him a little bit there just to protect his position. He dives through there. Look at this. He is just going for that win.
Look from down the hill looking up. He bounces over the curb, bounces over them again, keeps it under control. Herta's right there. He does have really a chance there and then a chance at the bottom, but he can't use it.
It's a chance, but I think he was defeated right there when that happened.
So the race, as a result, has been won by Alex Zanardi, and Jimmy Vasser has taken the championship, Gary.
Oh my. This is one of those things that you look forward to, and we're so fortunate to be able to kind of share on the periphery. Here's the team. Here's the champion, Jimmy Vasser, embraced from every direction, and right in front of him in bumper-to-bumper, wing-to-wing fashion, Alex Zanardi is just in front of him. We've talked so much about the pressure, Jimmy pulling off the gloves and the helmet, and now the pressure is gone. The $1 million payday looms. Jimmy Vasser, tell us how you played this day and how you're feeling right now.
Well, early on we were just, I feel great. I mean, it's the championship. All right.
Hanging fire, baby.
Any concern?
We were cruising early on just to take care of the car, and then, you know, I could see that Al and Mike were having problems, and they were in no position pretty much, and we turned up the heat, and we were running better, and then we blistered the left front tire here at the end, and yeah, I was a little bit bummed out that Pruitt got around me, but hey, it's a championship, right?
And the party begins, Paul.
Well, congratulations to the Team Ganassi, and Brian Herta climbs out. It was his with just 3 corners to go, and then it was snatched away on the very last lap by Alex Zanardi. Don't forget, coming up, we will be having coverage of the presentation of the PPG Cup. The IndyCar season has come to an end, and and a terrific end it was with a great new champion, Jimmy Vasser.